Chapter 8, Showdown. The next day, the sociology class had an engaging discussion. Towards the end, Professor Dayton reminds the class of the upcoming first exam. Both Holly and Teddy raise their hand at the same time. Dr. Dayton acknowledges Holly, but before she could speak, Teddy interrupts. "Did you call on her first because Black Lives Matter and whites don't?" asked Teddy in a very ticked-off manner. No matter what each student in the class is doing at the time, they completely stop in their tracks and stare in Teddy's direction. Teddy, with a stern face, looked at the professor and then at Holly. Unfortunately, he is not finished. He directs his attention to Becky. "Or maybe you want to call him Becky, Professor, because men are supposed to have nothing, and it's all about women's rights." Some grumbling starts in the classroom, but since class is basically over, Professor Dayton dismisses everyone except Holly, Becky, and Teddy. Holly and Becky now realize Teddy's anger is about the candlelight protest of his fraternity. A few moments of back and forth insults continue between Becky and Teddy mainly, since Holly is trying to keep her good mood going from the past weekend. Dr. Dayton allows Teddy to explain his outbursts in class. The crust of Teddy's anger is the effect on his fraternity since the protest, and the fact people now think his fraternity is racist and sexist. Holly and Becky didn't feel too bad for Teddy. Dr. Dayton thought it wise for the ladies to try to see it from Teddy's point of view, adding that words like racist and sexist are very inflammatory. Teddy nods his head in agreement with the professor, but Dr. Dayton is not finished. He continues to say words such as asinine and stupid may have been more appropriate with regard to the fraternity's behavior. After making his points to the students, Dr. Dayton leaves the three in the room completely unfazed. The three sit there for a minute in silence. Teddy's expecting some type of apology that the ladies were not willing to offer. Holly realizes she still has to work with Teddy on their race project for the class, breaks the impasse. "So Teddy, we can discuss the Black Lives Matter movement next time we meet for our project," offers Holly. "You mean why it is a racist movement?" shoots back Teddy. "If that is your position, I can listen to your side," replies Holly. "Are you available tomorrow around 5? "Yeah." "Oh, by the way, I found out yesterday we no longer can get a conference room at the media center after our loud discussion last time," in an all-your-fault manner. "Really?" replies Teddy, somewhat pleased with himself. She quickly offers to study at her apartment, since she surely was not going to what she has referred to as that petri dish of a frat house. Seeing Holly's effort to reconcile with Teddy, Becky asks if he wouldn't mind modeling in the fashion show this weekend. Becky thought Teddy could provide his own outfits since it was coming up on the 11th hour. Both Becky and Holly like his style of dress, embroidered shirts and dress slacks. Even though the initials on his shirts often didn't match Teddy's initials. They just assumed they were initials of famous designers they were not familiar with, or his family member passed down the shirt to him. Either way, they were happy Teddy agrees to participate in the show. The three classmates leave the room still believing their own perspective is valid, but more conciliatory than when class began. The group of friends organizing the fundraising meet in the lobby. Holly and Becky tell Destiny and Becky's boyfriend Chris about what happened after the sociology class was dismissed with Teddy and Dr. Dayton. The ladies were disappointed with the professor because he thought they should apologize to Teddy, but they emphasized to their friend that they didn't. The girls mentioned that they were shocked that the professor left suddenly in the middle of the discussion. They couldn't figure out why Dr. Dayton dislikes his students so much. Chris informs the group the professor was on sabbatical after the death of his son. This revelation explains a lot of the professor's anger. Now Holly and Becky feel they understand their teacher a little better. The part of the story that surprised Destiny and Chris was after all that happened with Teddy, the ladies quickly buried the hatchet and invited Teddy to be in the fashion show. The group spent the rest of the time inviting people to the fashion show. Becky, Chris, and Holly put up posters for the charity event around campus and even downtown. They talked with students they saw and explained the purpose of the charity. Destiny and Sophia worked the social media angle to advertise the fashion show. Everything was coming together for the event. In Chapter 8, Teddy is livid that his fraternity has been labeled sexist and racist. Dr. Dayton has labeled it asinine and stupid. In the comments below, which do you think? See you in Chapter 9.